almost there. No way. What is this? You're tuned in to the Eyes Open podcast, where secrets aren't safe and we see it all.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and it is quite the interesting day. But before we get down to brass tacks, I want to send, as always, a quick shout out to our sponsors over at Magic Mind. I will leave the link in the comments. If you guys don't know what Magic Mind is, greatest wellness shot around. Check them out. Can't say enough good things about them. But yeah, I will leave the link in the comments, and the link is also on the screen. Check them out at magicmind.com/eyesopen20. Again, that's magicmind.com/eyesopen20. Be sure to use our link because you'll get some special promos. Check them out. You won't be disappointed. But yeah, link will be in the comments also. So I was pondering and thinking, being that I myself, for the people that don't know, am a crypto developer. Been in the crypto market since before even the people that claim they're crypto people now knew about crypto. We're talking before even meme coins were around. So I was there for the Doge days when Doge exploded. I've been around through the battles and the wars of crypto. I've been through the trenches with crypto, and that's for my people that know crypto. Know they know what the trenches are. So I want to kind of, in a sense, though, I want to make this episode for the people that don't understand crypto. Maybe for the people that are in it that don't really know what's going on, because right now it's not just in the crypto market, though. Right now, everywhere. Okay, all the markets are getting wrecked. Now, I have to preface this video by saying this is not, anything I say is not financial advice. So if you hear me say anything on here, do not take it as financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. So do whatever you do at your own risk. I'm simply talking about the crypto markets, the markets that are around, and you do whatever you want to do. I just tell you what I do and how I see things. So I want to make sure everybody understands that first and foremost. But what people have to understand is the markets in general kind of ride together. It's funny how, the stock market rides kind of close with the crypto market and vice versa. But I could sit here all day and talk to people that know about crypto, but I don't really see a point in that because they already know what's going on. The people in the know that know about crypto, that have been around for a long time, at least since the run in 2020, they know what's up. So this is nothing new to them. But this is for the people that don't understand crypto, okay? That may be in it, are freaked out right now, maybe lost a ton of money, but there's some crazy stuff going on. Or maybe there's people that aren't in it at all, and maybe they don't even understand what's going on right now. But so we'll start there. For the people that don't know, markets are getting wrecked right now. Not just the crypto market, but the stock market, the metals, commodities, everything's getting wrecked. Now, the funny part is, I've said it over and over, and people don't want to listen to me. And they see what happens. Like, I'll give you for example. When silver was skyrocketing over $100 an ounce, okay, and I shared a video on my page, people remember it, where I said, this is not the price of silver, okay? There is, even though silver is used, okay, in, making technology and whatnot, there's no extra demand for silver. It's not there. If it was, silver would have exploded years ago with technology and with all the robotics and things that are going on. Why wasn't it exploding then? It was tanking, okay? I remember that when I bought an insane amount of silver. And see, I sold my silver at the height at over 100 an ounce because I says, man, I made the video and the people laughed at me because I made a video. I made my own video, but I put a reel on my page that was talking about a jeweler was saying, hey, just to let you guys know, this is speculative. Because I was trying to explain that to everybody. I said, look, the price of silver is speculative. It's going to crash back to where it belongs. 40, maybe 50 an ounce if you're lucky. And everybody was laughing. They're like, you don't know what you're talking about, man. I just doubled down at 106 an ounce. And I'm like, oh man, if you only knew what you just did to yourself, you have no clue. Okay. For all the people that got in on the silver FOMO, that's what we in the industry of crypto called fear of missing out. Okay. It's called FOMO. And when people catch FOMO, they jump on anything. It could be anything. It could be. We seen people FOMO over a stupid what was it? Tumbler cup. Remember that Tumbler cup, that Stanley cup, or whatever it was. Everybody was going crazy over. People like. That's what it is, and I find it so fascinating. Is it's simple supply and demand. Okay, when people can create a demand for something, and you have enough supply of it. But they can act like there's scarcity in it. People just freak out over it. Like, for example, the person who made you suckers believe that diamonds are worth a fortune when it was worth as much as glass. Okay, it was worth nothing back in the day. And then maybe you guys can remember the guy's name. I don't remember off the top of my head. He came along and convinced you all that not only were diamonds, very valuable, but they were scarce, and there's not that many out there. Anybody that knows that all those Jews over in De Beers that runs De Beers overseas, okay, they have vaults filled with diamonds. So many diamonds, okay, that if they put them onto the open market, it would make diamonds pretty much worthless. They'd be as much or less than cubic zirconians. Okay, so that way people understand where I'm coming from here. It's simple supply and demand. The lower the supply is, and people start freaking out over something, it could be anything, and they decide they want it, everybody piles in. And you know what happens is, this is what we call, a lot of people get caught holding the bag. And with silver, a lot of you suckers got caught holding the bag, because this is how smart money moves. When you guys were buying, I was selling. So that's what was funny. And like now with the crypto market, everybody's selling, I'm buying. Okay. It goes lower, I'm buying. It goes lower than that, I'm buying, because I know where it's going. And for the people that don't understand, even the ones that are in crypto, that I see somebody, and the people at the top are laughing. That's the saddest part about it, is the people. So let me kind of bring this all back full circle. We'll start from the beginning here. Crypto started out with a white paper that was released on, surprisingly, October 31st of 2008. It was called the Bitcoin White Paper by Satoshi Nakamoto. Okay, not as surprising. This guy right here. Okay? Right there. This guy right there. Satoshi Nakamoto. This is what they say, because nobody knows, okay, who this guy is. Okay? So this guy, who nobody knows who he is, started what's called Bitcoin. Okay, there's your visual aid right there. Okay. So Satoshi Nakamoto started Bitcoin, and he released what's called a white paper. A white paper, in a sense, so people understand that don't know crypto too well, is it's a roadmap of what this coin is about, where it's going, and everything has a white paper now. If it doesn't have a white paper, even meme coins, okay, for the people that know what meme coins are like cartoon coins. People can buy butthole coin or whatever they buy. Like fart coin went up to $1 billion market cap, and people made a fortune on fart coin. Imagine that. Imagine living next door to some guy in a mansion, and he's like, "Oh, how'd you make all your money?" I made it in fart coin. I mean, that's what I've always found hilarious about crypto. Meme coins have made people fortunes, but nonetheless. So it all started with this guy, Satoshi Nakamoto, who nobody knows who it is. All right. But people like me have a good idea of who that person, they say person is. But we all know it's not just one person. The ones that know. So I find it no coincidence that Bitcoin was started in 2008 on Halloween, one of the highest occult days of the year. Okay, he decides to release that white paper on Halloween of that year. Now, for the people that understood the monetary system and understood how money works, okay, they knew that he was claiming to have solved a problem that nobody knew how to solve, which was removing the middleman, okay, was peer-to-peer transactions, meaning if you're going to send me $20,000, it has to go through Swift, it has to go through some intermediate, and you have to send it through somewhere, okay? There has to be an intermediate. So they make their money. There's no privacy in it at all. Even though with Bitcoin was claiming privacy, there's no privacy with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's one of the least private crypto coins that's ever been created. But nonetheless, he claimed to have fixed this problem of everybody's, like, if for the people that would have known, back then, you're talking 2008. I wasn't in crypto that early. So I wish I would have been, financially smart enough to know back then, because I was old enough. I could have been and really studied it, because I would have bought a fortune in it. But even when there was just certain things I did not like about Bitcoin, and even to this day, people that have paid me in Bitcoin for things, I've gotten rid of it. I've traded it for other cryptos, or I've just taken it out for fiat and spent it, or, whatever. But it all started with this guy. And then what had happened was, you have later on, I'm going to show you, the guy who had, so we can find out who this guy is by this, okay? David Schwartz, okay, I'm going to put on screen, this guy, David Schwartz, was one of the coders and computer guys for the technology that's behind Bitcoin. So, and guess who David Schwartz worked for? He worked for a 3-letter agency that, again, I don't say them, starts with an N and ends with an A. He worked for them. So right there, I did not trust it. So in 2012, he started RippleNet, which was, it was called, I'm pretty sure it was, some of the XRP nut jobs out there are gonna come at me for that, but I'm pretty sure it started as Ripple. It was called Ripple originally, even though that's what it's called now. And I'll get into XRP here in a minute. But so, because XRP was essentially one of the second ones to really come out that the people in crypto knew about. And that's essentially when I started to know about crypto, started to research it. It was around 2013-ish. And I was dabbling in it a little bit, buy a little bit of it. But you couldn't move it around through wallets like you can now. So not a lot of people, unless you were really a computer geek, knew how to really move that stuff around. And a lot of people bought into Bitcoin early and lost their wallet seed phrases, and they can't get into them no more. So that's insane. Like they'd be worth a fortune now. So like there's people like Da Vinci that he was begging people to buy Bitcoin at like 10 cents. He said, just buy $1 worth. He said, I promise you, and you will be a millionaire. And if you would have listened to him, you would have been right. So shout out to Da Vinci if you would have listened to him. But I'm going to just put it right out there. The Gov created Bitcoin. Okay? They created it. They're just now coming out now with Trump saying he's doing the strategic Bitcoin strategic reserve. That's another reason why they went into Venezuela. Venezuela was big on Bitcoin. South America in general is. Okay? They have whole economies down there running on Bitcoin. Okay? Bitcoin's not going anywhere. All right? Everything's crashing right now. Even Bitcoin's crashing. Everything's crashing. But you have idiots like, and I'm going to call the guy an idiot because he's a moron. That Tracks NYC guy, that give me where's my effing money? Like he did a video the other day and he's always spazzing. All right. And I can understand why you're spazzing, bros, because you poured a whole mountain of silver out on your desk and was saying, this is where it's at. So if you held on to that silver and you got it when it was up there, and that was back when it was at like 118 an ounce, when it hit its high, you probably are pretty pissed off. You're probably hoping you're going to melt that and turn it into jewelry and hopefully, break even maybe. I don't know. I mean, that was a lot of silver. But a lot of people got screwed on silver that's what I'm saying is I told everybody that they were literally going to pull, and they're still doing it. Now, gold's a whole different story. But with silver, I said they're literally running it like a meme coin. They're going to FOMO everybody in off pure speculation, and they're going to rip it right down. And what did they do? They did it. Within hours, it dropped 40%. So right there, that is institutional manipulation. All right. And this is why metals, unless you're trading them on the exchange, okay, suck compared to crypto. If crypto's crashing, at least you can put it into a stable coin. Now, stable coins, for people that don't know what that is it's just a coin that stays stable. Like USDC, XRP, Ripple has their own, or all of them got to stay. Stable coins are becoming huge right now. And I'll get into that again in a minute as well. But you could at least put your crypto into a stable coin, or you can sell it right away. What are you going to do with all your physical silver that all you morons bought? When you go to the people that buy it and they're like, no, we ain't buying it. Well, nothing to do. It's crashing right now. We're not buying it. You can always go and sell your crypto, even if you're at a little bit of a loss or a big loss. With silver, you're screwed. You're stuck with it, man. You're going to have to wait till they pull another move like that again and hopefully be able to sell it or find a crafty way to get rid of it. But back to this moron over at Trax NYC. I don't give a crap how rich that guy is. He was freaking out and saying, look at this moron. And he's pointing at his screen and he's comparing. The guy has no understanding of crypto at all. He's comparing that, what's his name, who ran Forex and or BitTrax, whatever it was, or Forex, who stole billions of dollars. Because essentially what he did was he had an exchange like Coinbase, Kraken, like those are crypto exchanges. You go and buy your crypto on an exchange, and essentially they own your crypto. You're holding it for you, like a bank in a sense. So that guy was running a Ponzi scheme in a sense, because what he did was he was taking your money, giving you Bitcoin, and then was spending all the money. So when people went to go sell, they couldn't. So he was like, you're giving money to these assholes. You have to buy it from him on an exchange and you're an idiot. I'm like, dude. So I broke it down to everybody in the comments on this post and I was explaining. I said, okay, you want to hold that gold bar in your hand and say, this is so much better than crypto. Okay. I said, let's do the math here. Gold is flying. Okay. Gold's going up. Gold's at all-time highs, right? If you would have bought gold 10 years ago, $5,000 worth, you'd roughly have around $30,000. Okay. Give or take right around there. Go do the math. And that depends if you bought it on the low, bought it on the high, because they had lows and highs. But I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and just say you bought it on a low. So if you bought gold on a low 10 years ago, you'd be around $30-something thousand. Okay. So congratulations. You made $30,000 in 10 years. Whoop-de-freaking-do. If you would have put $5,000 in Bitcoin on a low, even when it's crashing, it crashed down to 70,000, which is a crash for Bitcoin. Even at $70,000, you would have roughly $4 million in 10 years. So who's the moron? And then I also said, you don't understand the difference between exchanges and Web3, okay? Web3 is where, a Web3 wallet is where you own the passkeys, the words to your wallet. It's a 10 words that you own your crypto. Unless somebody gets those key phrases, they can't hack your wallet. You own that money. The government can't steal it. Like go into your bank account and take your money out. The government can't steal it. Nobody can touch it. It's yours. You own it. Okay? It's not like a house. They can seize your they can't seize it like they can other assets. You own it. Now, if it's on an exchange like Coinbase or whatever, yeah, they can take it. They could just up and take it right off that exchange. So he's right in that sense. I'm not for exchanges like Coinbase and Kraken and all this crap where they hold your key phrases. No. Or seed phrases, keywords. There's two different words. I mean, you have your seed phrases. People that are into crypto know what I mean. But I digress. But yeah, people, there's so much, like, I could do a 10-part series on crypto alone. But the point is this, okay? Getting into crypto now, okay? It's still in its infancy stage. You have people that I can't even believe that I seen people talking today like, oh my gosh, I just lost $27,000. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? You had that kind of money in crypto and you're crying. You don't know, like you've never seen, you don't even know how to read a chart and have studied how it goes up and down, the ebb and flow of how it works. You don't know what a cycle is, that everything goes through cycles. Like people invest, it blows my mind. They invest money with not knowing anything about investing. You buy the blood, you buy the bottom, you buy the dip. That's where the term comes from. I'm sure most of you out there have heard that term. Buy the dip. It goes low, I buy. It goes lower, I buy more. It goes lower, I buy even more. And that's how winners win. Okay? That's what it is. Somebody told me a long time ago, okay? I would have never made millions of dollars in business if I didn't know this, okay? They told me that the big reward, the bigger the reward, the bigger the risk. And the reward lies where the risk is at, period. That's why most people can't be business owners, because they're afraid to take the risk. They're afraid to take the leap. Okay, it's the same thing with investing. You'll never be financially set for the rest of your life because you don't know how to take risks. Everything's a risk. You're taking a risk. You're taking a risk having a regular job and you don't even know it. You could walk in the next day, some big job, you bought a nice big house, you have a very good job, and they go in there and say, oh, guess what? You're fired. Here's your little severance package, but some don't even get that. But you're fired. That's a risk. Because I remember a guy asked me one time back when I was running a few different businesses, and he said, doesn't it scare you, like if business doesn't work out, because he's got a worker's mindset. I said, doesn't it scare you to go into work one day and you're fired, and then you have to go find another job and hope that you can find another job that's good? Doesn't that scare you? So you see where the mindsets are different. It's a worker versus owner mindset, okay? And they hope, that's why they said one day most people will own nothing and you'll be happy, because they hope for that for a lot of people. That's what they want. Now, here's another little visual aid, okay? This is what they call Ethereum, okay? If you guys might not be able to see it, but they started another coin called Ethereum, all right? Now, this, I believe, is going to be insanely huge one day, for the reason being, I could tell you guys a lot, but for a lot of you guys, I'd be talking Chinese. We'll just say that this company, in a sense, creates what's called smart contracts, okay? And they create the technology, in a sense, the backing for these other type of coins. And like with Bitcoin, okay, there's only so many Bitcoin that'll ever be created, and there's miners out there trying to mine Bitcoin. They're solving these puzzles, okay? The blockchain is what it's called. They're solving these riddles, in a sense. I'll put it that way, is the best way to say it. They're solving these puzzles, okay? Every time they solve it, that's how they mine these coins. So Bitcoin is so many's made, that's it. Ethereum's not like that, okay? Ethereum and other coins like Solana, they're constantly making coins, burning coins, making coins, burning coins. So the tokenomics behind it is different. That's what it's called. It's called tokenomics. The tokenomics setup behind it is different. the burn mechanisms. It's what makes these coins more valuable. But down to brass tacks, if people really understood, okay, where crypto is going, everybody would be buying it right now. Everyone, especially when it's low. People cry over, oh, I lost. Dude, do you know how much I'm down in crypto right now? You don't see me crying about it. I'm going to buy more. Honestly, like I stay diversified. I don't, and you'd be an idiot to keep all your money in crypto. I stay diversified, but I'm at the point I'm shifting things around to put more money into crypto because it's crashing. And, you know, I would say, you know, maybe if the stock market crashes a little bit more, like seriously, I'll buy. But stock market money moves too slow for me. I used to buy stocks back in the day. I just don't anymore. I feel unless you're a day trader scalping like crazy, you're not making no real money with that. Stocks take too long to make millionaires. I'm good on all that. Crypto is where it's at for me. And I know crypto. I've studied it. So this is now we're going to get down to the nitty gritty of what I'm talking about. Because like I said, if people knew, if they had some real knowledge of how crypto works, they would be buying more. Okay? Trump put up a 12-foot statue of him holding up a golden Bitcoin. Okay? Trump plays dumb, but that man is not dumb. That's how smart he is. He makes you guys think he's stupid. Guy's not stupid. Okay? Him and his family are so heavily invested in crypto. All these people right now, what they're doing, okay, because me being a developer, I've seen it done before, okay? What they do is they all sell to drop the price, so everybody freaks out and sells, so they can drop it even further, and then that's when they're all gonna buy it way lower for personal and to put into the Bitcoin strategic reserve. Because when Trump's gonna win you guys all over with money. Watch and see. Watch and mark this, save this video and see if I'm wrong. What he's going to do is they're going to buy. He already told you that with the video, okay, he told you guys, we are going to be the crypto hub of the world. Because if we don't do it, nobody else will, or somebody else will, China or whoever. So he's saying we're going to be the power running force in crypto. So right there, you guys should have known when he's signing executive orders. And see, that's what made crypto tank, because crypto was always supposed to be about no regulation. But news flash for all you crypto guys out there. The government they've always owned it. They say it's decentralized. It's not decentralized. How's it decentralized when most coins are owned by a bunch of people at the top? Like all you XRP fanboys. XRP is at the same price it was back in 2018. Yeah. I know I'm not wrong about that. It's at the same damn price it was at in 2018. Hasn't went up at all. It went up. See, I was smart. When everybody FOMO'd on XRP, I bought it and sold it at like $3.60. I bought a bunch of it and sold it because I was like, oh, here comes the FOMO. Everybody's going to freak out because they think it's going to be the RWA token, which is what's called real world asset. Okay. This is why crypto is going to explode. And this is why crypto is going nowhere. This is just one of the reasons I'm going to tell you. RWA, or real world asset, which is the tokenization of real world assets. Okay. They have just now started tokenization and ETFs on the exchanges. Okay. Go look into, it's going to take me too much time to explain that. Go look into what an ETF is for a crypto coin. It's essentially, they're putting it on the stock exchange. They're trading it, okay? They just started ETFs. They just started tokenization, which means tokenizing real world assets. Your house is going to be tokenized. Your car is going to be tokenized. Everything's going digital. Okay, it's like when they laughed at Bill Gates for saying, oh, computers are going to run the world one day. They all laughed at him. They said, oh, give me a break. Nobody wants computer. And even Steve Jobs, nobody wants computers in their home. Well, we see how wrong they were with that. It's the same thing. Okay, everything's going to be tokenized. All right. Everything's going digital. Trump knows it and the people at the top know it. That's why they're running you all out of it, because they want to, because they want all the bags for themselves. That's why they said, Klaus Schwab with the Great Reset said, you will own nothing and be happy. Do you think they want you guys getting wealthy? Nope, not happening. They're even scaring out the people that have been in crypto for forever. I'm watching them like crying their eye. Oh my gosh, I'm losing everything. Well, maybe you should have diversified a little bit. Maybe you should own some other assets. Maybe, but like I said, they're crying. I'm celebrating. I'm like, it's a freaking fire sale over here, man. And if people want to know what I'm buying Solana. Solana's where it's at. Solana, let me explain this to you, okay? Western Union, okay, just created its first stable coin through the Solana network. Solana's a crypto coin, okay? If you look it up, Solana. Go look up Solana. Solana is the cheapest and fastest way to send money to anybody. Okay, you got to wait for a wire 3 or 4 days. With Solana, I can send you $1 million right now, get a little bit of a fee, but you'll get it like that. Boom. Right now in your wallet, can transfer it out to your bank account, whatever you want to do. They solved the money problem. So sorry, XRP people, but XRP did not solve that problem and it never will. XRP, you need not only the freaking contract address to send it, you need a memo. If you screw up any of those 2 lines of all those letters or numbers and letters, if you screw any of that up, your XRP is gone. It's lost. And I'm not even going to get into XRP. If you guys want to get into XRP one day, all you XRP fanboys out there, I'll get into it one day. But XRP is trash for this reason, okay? Too many people at the top, if it's so valuable, they wouldn't be dumping the coins every time it pumps. The banks and everybody have already been using RippleNet. Okay, Ripple's the company that made XRP, owns it. They can use Ripple without the Ripple rails of sending the money. They can use it without ever touching that token, without ever touching XRP. You guys keep thinking the two are synonymous. They're not. Okay, they don't run together. Okay, so get over it. You might see a $5 XRP one day. Good luck. Have fun with your 2 to 3x or whatever it'll be, with doubling your money, however much your little XRP bag that you're holding on to. Have fun with it. But coins like Bitcoin, I'll be honest with you, I don't know what's going on with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is slow, clunky, it's outdated, it's not private, the fees are crazy. I don't know what's going to happen with the future of Bitcoin. I mean, me personally, I even see it in a sense where Bitcoin everything will shift over to coins like Ethereum. That's what I see in Solana. But you guys need to understand this, okay? Crypto ain't going nowhere. They're just getting warmed up, and they're loving chasing all of you guys out, and they're laughing their butts off while they're doing it. They're like, because they're all rich. They don't care. They're tanking the crap out of it. Like, if you guys think that something can go from 126,000, the price that it's at, to down to like, it can drop all that amount of money that fast without it being institutional manipulation, it absolutely is. These whales are dumping on your guys' heads and laughing their butts off. And I mean, people like me, if you just do a little research, are trying to warn you guys, like, buy the bottom. It's not hard. Okay, double down. When times get hard, double down. Now, if crypto, back in the day, we went through it harder, okay? Because we didn't know about tokenization, none of that crap, okay? We didn't understand. It was all a gamble back then. It really was, for all of us. We didn't understand it fully. So it was a gamble back then. Now it's not a gamble. Now the institutions, now the old money's coming in. Now the institutions want in. Okay? That's why it's going to start exploding. But it's like a slingshot. Before it can get sent into the stratosphere, it's got to pull back. And sometimes that pullback is hard. For the people that know, Bitcoin tanked from 60-something thousand down to 15,000. And then what did it just run up to not that long ago? Last year, $126,000 a coin. So after this pullback, I see it going up to $300,000 to $400,000. It's going to go up high. It's going to go up really high. And the whole market's going to ride. And everybody that had brass cojones, all right, and was not afraid and doubled down and said, up, it went down, I bought more. Up, it went down, I bought more. Up, it went down, I bought more. Those guys that did that, guys and gals, okay, that did that are going to be celebrating because they're going to be like, I seen what it was and I knew what was going on and I knew where this was going. And it's that simple. They just started launching stable coins, okay? If you look into stable coins, please, everybody, go look into stable coins and what they are, okay? And how they're going to offset the debt. So Trump, I don't think I fully made you guys understand this. What Trump is going to do, I see happening is he's going to get Bitcoin cheap. He's going to fill up that Bitcoin strategic reserve, okay? He's taken all these other countries' gold. He's going to back it in our gold, okay? That's why it's been gold, gold, gold. That's why there's a gold statue holding Bitcoin. He's giving you guys the heads up. That's what's funny is because he speaks in code. If you guys haven't paid attention to him, all right? That's why I've been critical of him, but I study him to know what I think he's an evil man. But I study what you have to be as wise as serpents, like the Bible says. I study that guy. He does a gold statue holding a Bitcoin. To me, that tells me he's going to put a ton of gold behind Bitcoin because what does it matter then? The dollar's not backed by gold. It was, it should be, but it's not because they don't have the gold no more. So essentially what's going to happen is he's going to back Bitcoin by gold and then no more. It's going to be this, people keep saying, oh, it's this fake money. It's this imaginary money. Well, you guys don't know what fractional reserve banking is. Okay. That means that you don't, all that money you got in the bank, these people have a lot of money in the bank. It's not even there. Go try and take it out. See what happens then. See what they tell you. You might be able to get it out in cash, but you're going to be waiting a long time. They'll have you come back weeks later or whatever. So if there's a run on the banks, you're screwed, man. That money's gone. So fractional reserve banking, in a sense, is they're able to borrow and lend on these fake zeros on screens that aren't even really there. How is that any different than Bitcoin? If they're saying nothing is backing Bitcoin or crypto. No, the demand is backing it. Just like what's backing the dollar. Your labor, your demand, the demand. You can put a value on anything you want. But that's why I want people to understand. Do what you want to do. But I'm telling you, if you guys can't see what's going on and what is ready to happen, when they flick that switch and reset the whole system and the petrodollar fiat gets smoked and they go all digital and people lose all their money and the banks crash, the bank runs, all the stuff that's going to come with it. And they say, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The bank screwed you, but we're going to help you guys. We're going to help you guys. Know how we're going to help you? What we're going to do is we are going to give you this stable coin, Trump Internet, whatever it'll be, USDC. We're going to give you a stable coin. We're going to give you back a portion of what you lost that the banks took from you. And that's what they're going to do. So you are going to be in crypto whether you like it or not because the dollar's going away. And that's your crypto lesson for the day. It is what it is, people. Take it or leave it.